There are people in the world who are very deserving of the title of scumbag, and this person right here that you see on your screen is more than deserving of it. This individual's name is Bob Dean Jr., and he has been ordered to pay almost $400,000 in restitution because during Hurricane Ida in Louisiana, he sent the residents, it was around 800, out into a hurricane, or told them to ride out a hurricane basically in squalor, basically with absolutely nothing. So he sounds like a slumlord. And guess what? He ended up having to do no prison time. So this for sure falls into the category of Operation Protect the White Boy. A Louisiana businessman who sent more than 800 elderly residents from his 7 nursing homes. 7 nursing homes, y'all. People who need help getting around. To ride out Hurricane Ida in a crowded, ill-equipped warehouse has pleaded no contest to 15 criminal counts. And on Monday was sentenced to only 3 years of probation. Bob Dean Jr. must also pay more than $358,000 in restitution to the state health department and more than $1 million as a monetary penalty. But State Attorney General Liz Murrow expressed frustration in a news release that Dean didn't get any prison time. We asked specifically that he be sentenced to a minimum of 5 years in prison and not be given only probation. I respect our judicial system and that the judge has the ultimate discretion over the appropriate sentence, but I remain of the opinion that Dean should be serving prison time, her statement said. I agree wholeheartedly with her. However, I know she gave the professional response when she said, I respect our judicial system and that the judge has the ultimate discretion over the appropriate sentence. Dean, age 70, owned 7 nursing homes in New Orleans in southeast Louisiana. We need to check the demographics of those residents. As Ida approached, Dean moved hundreds of residents into a building in the town of Independence, roughly 70 miles northwest of New Orleans. Authorities said conditions at the warehouse deteriorated rapidly after the powerful storm hit on August 29th in 2021. They found ill and elderly bedridden people on mattresses on the wet floor, some crying for help, some lying in their own waste. Why does this remind me so much of Hurricane Katrina? And ironically, it's in Louisiana, just like Hurricane Katrina, as far as how those people down there were treated, and we know why. Civil suits against Dean's Corporation said the ceiling leaked and toilets overflowed at the sweltering warehouse, and there was too little food and water. Within days after the storm hit, the state reported the deaths of 7 of the evacuees, 5 of them classified as storm-related. By the time Dean was arrested on state charges in June 2022, he had lost state licenses and federal funding for his nursing home. According to Murrow, Dean pleaded no contest to 8 counts of cruelty to the infirmed, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, and 5 counts of Medicaid fraud. Judge Brian Abel sentenced Dean to a total of 20 years in prison, but, and y'all know what I usually say about but, deferred the sentences in favor of 3 years of probation. The plea was entered in Tangipahoa, north of New Orleans. Someone from Louisiana, please let me know how to pronounce that, because I know I messed that up. So he was supposed to get 20 years for what he did, and they reduced that all the way down to 3 years probation after what he did. Operation Protect the White Boy in full effect. Defendants who plead no contest do not admit guilt, but elect not to defend against the charges. They are then subject to being convicted and punished as if there had been a guilty plea. So he knew exactly what he was doing, because he knew that if he did it any other way, they probably would have gotten him to do some type of prison time. So his lawyers knew exactly his attorneys knew exactly what they were doing. And the thing is, nothing can be reversed about what he did. The guy's a scumbag. He literally had his residents, this is 800, sent to live in squalor during a hurricane. Like, they weren't supposed to be there. And then on top of that, these individuals were in nursing homes. They need extra medical attention, and they just had them just lay there. They said in water in their own waste, which lets me know, or begs the question rather, how were they being treated in the nursing homes that he was running? That's what I'd like to know. Has there ever been any type of complaints from any of the residents or the people working there or any of the families that would come and visit their loved ones whenever they could? Was there any complaints then, or were these actual nice facilities, but he decided, I'm not going to like break my back to get y'all into a nice spot while this is going on, but I'm gonna put y'all here, but I'm gonna go ahead and save my own ass and I'm gonna go live and stay somewhere very nice. I'm betting that's probably how this all played out. This is exactly why right here a lot of people don't like to put their loved ones in these nursing homes, because a lot of the times they're not getting the proper care and that they should be receiving. But this was absolutely ridiculous. He could have found a nicer place for them. And the thing is, usually when hurricanes happen, it's always a warning. They'll always tell you when it's on its way. He had enough time where he could have found a nice, suitable place to put all those residents at. But he decided, you know what, this is where I'm going to place them. And even if he had the warning, he probably already had in his mind that's where he was going to put them at. That's, man. So he basically got off. And all he has to do is pay that amount of money, which he probably has. With all the money he has made, they say he has 7 residences, or he owns 7 of them. Oh, he probably has that money and then some. This is probably, I'm not going to say it's a drop in the bucket for him, but he's not going to frown over it either. He probably is, but he's like, hey, I'll just pay it and get this monkey off my back. That way it is what it is. But I would like to hear from especially my people down there in Louisiana, in this area in particular. Have you heard about this story? Did you know about this story, or me bringing this to you now is the first time you've ever heard this story before?